Welcome to B2B with Randy and Craig, where we speak to local entrepreneurs and learn about their journey. Hi, I'm Randy.
I'm Craig.
And this is B2B, where we discuss the rise, the fall,
and the kick in the...
We're not going there, I tell you. Again, every week it's a family show.
Every
All right,
week.
We're here today with Phil DePaul from One Tom Plumber. My bad. One Tom Plumber. We got a question for you. Why plumbing?
Why not? I mean, you guys got pipes?
We got pipes.
Everyone's got the
pipes. Everybody has pipes.
Well, I got something for you today.
That we didn't have.
It's
Nice.
pink.
Every boy's dream.
For those of you on the radio, we just got from One Tom Plumber pink plungers.
Exclusive.
You know, that's good to know. It's good to know that every time we stuff up, I'll think
We're
of you.
using our pink plunger.
Someone's got your back.
I'll think of you.
Because real plumbers wear pink, my friend.
That's obviously we see that. So tell us, entrepreneur, how do you become because are you a plumber? That's the first thing.
Hell no.
No.
How do you start a plumbing company without being a plumber?
So you cheat. I'm a franchisee.
There you
so this
go.
is actually a very fast-growing national franchise that I'm proud to operate here in Long Island, New York.
Is your territory all of Long Island?
It's the Long Island. Yep.
It is a Long Island.
It is a Long Island. So you can't go into Queens then?
Well, we could because there's nobody there, but we really don't want to.
Right. So
There's
once they sell that area,
there's enough mouths to, toilets to service here.
Enough pipes
in
to
Long
clog.
Island. Exactly. Or
Okay.
unclog.
unclog it better.
Yeah, that's your job.
And believe me, come Super Bowl Sunday.
You know what? I'll have extra dispatch resources
Yeah,
there
that's
standing
awesome.
by to service our clients.
So as an entrepreneur, you had to pick a type of franchise. So I guess the question is,
Yeah, again, why plumbing?
why
right?
plumbing? We're right back at that.
Yeah.
So I have a funny relationship with plumbing, but I'll reverse engineer it because the thing that attracted me to this franchise was that they came up on my radar with this business model that they stole from me. And
What does that mean? Tell me.
It was 24/7 emergency services for leaks, drains, and it pairs up with your water damage restoration business. And almost 6 years ago, I started the Long Island territory of United Water Restoration Group.
So that's you as well?
That's me.
So you're a franchise entrepreneur.
Guru.
Yeah, by accident. I think that the first one, when I jumped into United Water Restoration in 2019, it was because I was done doing something for somebody else. I just wanted to start something. And I didn't know what the hell it was going to be. So I looked at a menu, I picked a thing, and I always liked the trades. I always liked home services. I always wanted to get towards home improvement, real estate. It just always made sense to me. So the blue collar world is one that it really resonates with me. I think that it is.
But why restoration with that? That's my
Okay,
question.
let's keep reverse engineering, right? Didn't realize it. It looks easier to connect the dots in hindsight. But for 4 years, I was a program and project manager for New York Rising. So I was a consultant to the governor's office of storm recovery here in New York, helping folks recover from Hurricane Sandy and some of those folks from Irene, helping them repair, rebuild, or elevate their homes.
So it really got you into the nuts and bolts of it.
It did, and I worked with some really amazing people. I learned a lot of incredible soft skills and hard skills, and it just exposed me to the landscape of construction, of the trades with a more hands-on in the field role because I was actively supervising projects on behalf of the state, on behalf of the homeowner, in between the contractor that was brought in. So
So you had experience. You had a feel for it. You
I got
understood
thrown
that.
in and I saw opportunity.
I love it.
And then looking at the franchises, I was like, oh, here's a thing, water, fire, mold. I'm like, this is what I say is dirty, disgusting, dangerous. I don't think anybody wants to do this work. I don't think that anybody wants to call someone who's in restoration. However, when they do, you get a chance to kind of throw the cape on, help them through a messy, ugly situation that the folks are probably handling for the first time in their lives. And we want to be that, that hand that helps them get through.
And from a business model, let's face it, the weather systems have been changing incredibly. We all know what just the tragedies in California. So restoration is real. It's a real need. So from a business category, it made sense as well.
Yeah, and the business is not built around those natural disasters. Those are, I think of them as the opposite of gravy, because we exist in this business to mostly help folks through insurance covered losses, the everyday things that just go
like
wrong.
a pipe burst.
A mechanical failure, a pipe burst, right? Thus, why plumbing?
Right.
Well, a lot of our restoration mitigation projects have to do with plumbing issues. So why not? And
that was very strategic on your behalf to see that.
It is, but it isn't, right? We're all just bumbling through life, and then you're like, oh, look, here's an opportunity to help more people, because restoration is reactive. So, and you and I started talking about this a little bit prior, but the fact is that plumbing is very consumable because you got pipes. Do you like running water? It's cold outside. Do you like the heat on?
Right.
I mean, we've now accepted that comfort is the standard. It's not a choice. So we're going to keep running water. We want hot water. We want to be comfortable in our homes. So
I got to ask you with that. One Tom Plumber.
I'm just going to get comfortable here.
I love it. Fine. And I love the
he's
socks.
got the socks.
He's got the socks. He's branded up and down. Are you wearing that up underwear?
You know what? Now
I mean, it's Mickey Mouse. Compared to Craig, it's Mickey Mouse.
Well, this guy. You know, when you're on your way out, we'll get you a belt. All right? We'll get you a belt.
So you obviously you're good on branding. You do some nice branding from your your pink plungers to your shirts. You have your socks.
You got to represent, right? Fly your flag.
So, everyone knows me as the undisputed cinematography champion of the world.
Or a loon.
Right?
It's one of those.
That's my shtick, right? So does One Tom Plumber have a motto, slogan, catchphrase that gets you guys well known?
Not yet, but we will.
So real men wear pink.
I've already thrown a couple at you. I mean, I'm really just playing with
pipes.
Got pipes. Yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah. No, we're gonna come up.
Yeah,
with
comment below on a nice.
We got a nice pink logo. We got the pink. So how can we come up with a little?
I worked them in probably in the first minute. I said real plumbers wear pink.
I like it.
Fence with you, like ding,
later.
ding.
So let's go back. So here you are, beginning your journey. You made a decision, which is a hard decision because I know you're a family man. I am leaving my career. I'm not getting fulfilled. My entrepreneurial urges are too strong.
Yep.
Restoration, I have some knowledge in that field. I'm going to pursue that. Strategically, you realize that, hey, plumbing is a great complement. Mm-hmm. Also, they complement each other.
Yeah.
But for a viable business to keep the phones ringing, plumbing is much more viable than restoration, because restoration is very reactive. That's where we left off. Right. So tell me about that journey inside when you're sitting inside your restoration company and you're realizing, hey, I need more.
Yeah.
Like, tell us about that.
So I'd be remiss if I didn't go one step back and say, I'm working for somebody else and I need more. And when I took that leap to start the first business, I have to thank my wife and my family for just supporting me unconditionally, because it's like, hey, I'm going to bet all this stuff on doing a thing. And you said that I had experience. I did not have experience in disaster restoration and mitigation services. I worked mostly as a liaison, like a project manager.
So you were aware
of it. A paper
of
pusher, right? So awareness of large scale situations. But no, man, I had to go to school. Like, I got certified. I got licensed.
I want to lay down.
I got licensed.
I'm a little jealous. I don't need an ottoman.
My lap is warm.
Sorry, I'll come over. But you can I just say, you're right. Your family is so important in all our entrepreneurial journeys. To have a partner and our family, our parents, brother, sister, support you and be behind you is so important, because it's scary being an entrepreneur. At night, you're by yourself on a Friday hoping you can make payroll. An entrepreneur understands that. An employee doesn't always understand that you'll pay them before yourself. Yeah.
And it's a privilege to be an employer, and it's a cross that I bear with honor. I think that it's an opportunity, not a burden.
Yes.
And you just got to kind of remind yourself of that. So the other thing, right? So having starting a business is kind of like having a baby. But when I told my wife that I really need to do this thing, she was pregnant. Oh. And right after I had my baby of a business, I had my baby, which is my son.
What's his name?
Theodore.
Nice.
We call him Theo. And that's what matters. The other stuff.
It's gobbledygook.
So you brought up a great point. How do you juggle, owning a business and being a family man? It's
Poorly, I think is the answer. Poorly.
Perfect. I like it.
Something's got to give. So I like the idea of work-life balance. I call it work-life balancing.
Okay.
Because it's the art of juggling, right?
Right.
Priorities, they should be set, but they shift and they move. And your priority for a day might be different than a week or a month. And
Right.
you got to prioritize, the moment. And so many people whispered in my ear, and some of them screamed. Your kids were, for me, it's kid. It happens fast, right? So when you're in the dog days of raising an infant, a newborn, a toddler, it's like, oh, this is the good stuff.
Right.
And you remind yourself of that. Guess what? So work, life, well, what it's like the baby at home, the business is a baby.
It's a baby. It's gotta be fed.
The struggle of, oh my God, how do I make payroll? Where's the next job coming from? Oh my God, the process is where the magic happens. It's where you get to like channel the inner juices. That's what gets them flowing. And I mean, I'm a gambler, right? I think most entrepreneurs are.
You have two franchises. Your wife was pregnant, and I'd say you're a gambler.
I got the itch, and we'll skip over the middle, the things that haven't really worked so well, but we try a lot of different stuff. If you're someone who is driven, who is in pursuit of something that's hard to define, then when it comes to picking what to do, the most important thing is just do something.
Just do
it. That's what got me going, right? It got me into restoration. And then the segue to plumbing, here's another interesting link. I spent 14 years growing up from the age of 16 in the plumbing wholesale industry. So I was in and around pipes, fittings, valves.
So you had a feel.
I was the data entry, inventory pricing guy, part-time. I was in high school.
Your hands must be so soft.
They are. Coconut oil.
Don't shake anybody's hand when you go in there to give them an estimate.
If you're just tuning into WBAV, we are listening to B2B with Randy and Craig, and we are sitting here with Phil DePaul of One Tom Plumber. The master entrepreneur as well.
The master entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Phil, you said something before, and I was at an event, and I think we were there together. And one of the speakers said something that stayed with me. We wake up every day, and you say, I have to go see this client. I have to go to the office. No. You get to go to the office. You get to see the client. That is a great mindset. If you're in that mindset, I think you'll agree that how fortunate you are to get that opportunity. It changes the whole way. You don't have to do anything. You get to do it.
Don't even get me started on mindset. The show ain't long enough.
That's right, because we're wrapping up soon. That'll be a whole nother episode, because he's big on mindset. I mean, Phil and I have sat together and talked about this, and he's just such a great leader because he looks out for his people. It's all about mindset. It's all about education. It's all about bringing them along.
If you want to look after people, you know where you got to start looking? In the mirror.
There you go.
And I've spent a lot of time looking in the mirror.
So, when it comes to technology and I'm assuming, how long you been in business doing this?
For myself, almost 6 years.
Do you have the technology to fix this microphone that keeps going down? That's your next business. Microphone repair.
Doesn't it fix everything?
That's true.
No.
Sorry.
So, what would you say has been like the best advancement since you've started to help your business? Is it a piece of technology? Is it an equipment that's come out that's
I don't think it's this.
It's not the plunger. It's not the
No, that's just fun.
Right. That's just
this
a lot of
Barbie
fun.
pink, we just get to have fun with it. And it's no thing. I love to talk about who you become in the process, the highs and the lows. And with that, you get the privilege of impacting other people, right? So if you're going to start a business, you got to focus on, who wants what I have to offer?
Most important thing. What problem am I solving?
What problem am I solving? And how am I adding value to the world and to the community?
Right.
So that's the thing I wanted to do. And when I started doing restoration, it was always after someone was sort of in this like medium to large scale pain, trauma.
And they're hurting and they're scared and financially, everything.
Right? So again, why plumbing? Well, because I can help with smaller stuff, everyday stuff. Some of it is urgent, right? I mean, there are leaks, and what's better than calling one company that exists 24/7 to respond to your plumbing issue, but then all the secondary damage, I don't know what to do.
Well, how do we get a hold of you? How does the customer...
It's a funny thing. One Tom Plumber.
What?
The name is the number.
One Tom Plumber.
See how we did that?
You're unbelievable.
Yeah, I didn't come up with it.
like
So look,
that.
you know what I am?
didn't
You
come
call
up
me a
with it.
master. You know what? I'm not a master entrepreneur. I'm a novice. I'm a master copycat. I steal, or I'm a thief. I just want to steal other people's ideas.
not?
I like
I
to
see you walking
I
around
like
with a
to
belt.
carry what other people start, right? You try to red pen it. That's what I call it. Like you want to iterate it. You want to continue to advance, a movement, momentum, an idea, a concept. And, I'm very big on purpose and vision.
You said something before that you skipped over that I'm not going to let you skip over. You said in the middle, some failures, some things that didn't work. We're not going to talk about that. But overall, as an entrepreneur, you cannot succeed if you don't fail. And entrepreneurs fail quite often before they succeed. So that's nothing to be embarrassed of.
No.
That's part of their journey.
Those are my badges of honor because I rushed into flames and then went, I'm on fire. But I knew that it was part of the process.
Right.
I was in a rush to get those scars. And I'm going to use this as a segue to Boom Zeal. We don't have enough time to get into this, but at the core of any business that I operate, it's the thing that I've uncovered along the journey, right? We're doing plumbing, we're doing restoration, but there's something more. And we talked about our clients and we talked about the imprint and the value add, but man, oh man, your clients are served by your people. So I thought a lot about doing a solo venture.
Right.
And I said, no, it's too easy and it's too lonely. I'd rather go down the road with other people and pour into them because, in my opinion, a great leader makes more leaders. And that's the thing that I'm after. And man, the rush I get from watching my people grow and develop so that they can not only serve our clients, but guess what? They also become better servants of themselves at home, in the community. And that's the stuff that you want to bottle it up, but you can't.
Right.
I got to tell you, that's a common theme for the entrepreneurs that we bring in. It's a common theme. It's not about my growth. My growth is part of it as the entrepreneur, the founder, but it's about building my team and empowering them. Over and over and over again. That's the message. And that is so special.
So, Boom Zeal. I just want to be a catalyst to make good things happen. And our core values, we're solution oriented. We're collaborative. We're accountable. We're resilient. And we are dynamic. So no matter what I touch, the people that are around me are SCARD. We are scarred.
Love it.
Nice.
That is fantastic. How often do you have team meetings?
Every 90 days, we have an all-hands meeting. And that's the opportunity to kind of send a message, get on the same page, and set the tone, living in a 90-day world. So
I was at an event. Do you remember we had on Joe, and Joe had a Live to Lead event?
Yes.
So I had signed up for it prior to Joe being on, and Phil and I know each other through the world, and he reached out to me and said, I saw you're interested. Come sit with my table. So he invited me, and I sat at his table. And I want to tell you the kind of person this guy is. He took a bunch of guys and ladies from different businesses and sat them together so we could collaborate and talk about things that were done well, things we haven't done so great, or just brainstorm about the topic of conversation. And it was an awesome event. And I want to thank you for that. And he brought employees. Which is awesome. So that says a lot about you as a leader, that you don't know it all. And you want to bring leaders around, and you brought your staff in to also learn.
Now, you touched on something and then you shied away from it, but I want to actually tackle you. As a business owner, not everything goes perfectly. And you have to constantly, I think my favorite word about being an entrepreneur, pivot. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
You spin on me. Say pivot that way.
What's one mistake that had to happen in order for you to make it to where you are right now?
Over investing $1 million in the wrong places and being leveraged to the gills because you picked the wrong people, too many businesses, too many butterflies to chase. I mean, you
got to, even with hiring people, it's hire slowly, fire quickly if they're the wrong person, because you can get sucked down a path and you think this person's the right person. They may not be right for your team.
Or they might be right now, and then things change.
Right.
And we are dynamic, which means you got to evolve. The organization will evolve, and sometimes people can, and sometimes they can't. And you got to make tough decisions to figure out, who's with you for a reason, a season, or a lifetime.
Well, as you're growing your business, and obviously you guys are going in a great direction, you got to add processes in to control that growth. Mm-hmm. Sometimes those processes and the accountability of those processes, you got to look at your team and say, these people were great for getting me here, but they're not the ones that are going to get me there.
Right.
And those are the hard decisions that an entrepreneur has to make.
Heavy.
Right. That stinks.
I have $1 million question today, and I want to sneak it in before we get booted. But the toilet clogs in your house.
Yeah.
Who's
cleaning it?
Is it you? Is it
No, it's a great segue. It's not the real answer, but I'm going to say my father. You know why?
Why?
He's the master plumber in our business. So what I did was along that journey, I brought my parents closer to me from Staten Island to Long Island, closer into our lives, and as like
Is Staten Island part of the country?
Work slaves.
Oh, yeah, works. But is Staten Island part of the United States, or you had to get a passport to get it?
Again, we're going to schedule the next 10 shows on all these different topics.
But that's awesome. So here you are. Your parents supported your journey so much that they sold and came closer. Probably not just for the business, your grandson.
They have an adorable little grandson.
That's a big win. But that is awesome that you're working with your dad and your mom's helping. And what a great feeling. What a great feeling. Good for you. Good for you. So tell me about your website. What's the website address?
Best place to start your journey with us, boomzeal.com.
Spell it.
BOOMZEAL.com.
Tell us what that is.
I'd rather you find out for yourself, man. I gave you a taste. Our values.
I'm gonna look it up.
Our core values, what we're about. If you want to know what we're striving for and where we're going. Again, you talked about pivoting. It's not a pivot if the road is unpaved. All you're doing is you put one step in front of the other. So you fail forward, and the process shall be revealed through the trials and tribulations.
I love that.
And that's what we're doing, man.
Tell
me the book that we have to read. Give me one book I have to read.
I mean, it's the one that I told you this morning. It's top of mind. So it's helped me learn a lot about myself. I spent 20 plus years trying to figure out, why am I the way that I am? Simple. I am driven. I think the name of the book is just Driven.
Driven.
Yeah.
So when we say read, by the way, we mean listen.
Yes.
Nobody
reads.
No one's reading it.
I read with my ears.
So I was on TikTok or one of these things with my daughters, and there's a competition that they were doing. Can you hold your pen on a piece of paper and write a letter? And they're showing. I go, that's called script. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. I mean, I can't. My fingers don't work.
I don't know how to write anymore. So, one Tom Plummer. Can you give us the numbers? Do you know them off the top of your head?
No, I don't know. Get your little rotary phone, And
no, your phone.
Yeah.
You know what? I wish I did a rotary phone.
Nah.
So we were at an event. They had a payphone. But with everything being said, look, first and foremost, you are an inspiration. You're a guy that reinvented himself, went out there, found a need, built a wonderful team of people, and all you've done since the moment I've met you 3 or 4 years ago is give. And I appreciate that to the community, to give your experience and experience shares. So as an entrepreneur myself, I appreciate what you give to the community. I'm going to ask one more time before we wrap up. It's One Tom Plummer. Give us the website again.
So One Tom Plummer, the name is the number. And if you want to start your journey with Boom Zeal, it's www.boomzeal.com. Get to know us. Our people are our product.
And last thing I want before we go, you service from Montauk to the Queens border.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Well,
all right.
From B2B with Randy and Craig, that's a wrap.
Thank you for tuning in to B2B with Randy and Craig. Looking forward to hanging with you next week.